All right, I'm going to show you right now how to do a contour line drawing using this sculpture hand. A contour line drawing is just that. It's just lines. There's no shading, there's no texture. It's just using line to get the idea, of what your object is. Your object could be anything. It could also be an animal. You could do a person. You can do objects like I was just mentioning. However you want to create, you can do that. I'm using an actual specific piece. You can also pull up reference images, like I've had students do butterflies and they pull up a butterfly image, or other sorts of animals or other objects that I might not have in class or with me. Or you could just pull up something that's right next to you at home and you can do your contour line drawing that way. Now, I'm going to set this up so that I'm drawing it the same way that we're looking at it. Hopefully this works. You know what? I kind of like it this way. So I'm going to draw it as if it's holding something like this. This is really awkward. So when I do that, I'm breaking this down into a bunch of lines. I'm not worried about it as a whole anymore. I'm worried about what is the next line that makes it up. That being said, I'm actually going to start down here. Now, once I put my pencil to paper, I cannot pick it up unless I'm adjusting my hand because it's uncomfortable. But besides that, I am doing one continuous line without picking my pencil up off my paper. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to start right down here at this line where it curves. So I'm going to follow along with this curve here. Hopefully I don't make it too big. I like to go back and forth just a couple of times to get it a little bit darker. And now I'm going to follow along with this line right here that goes about straight up and just a little ways. Once I hit here at the wrist, it starts to curve out a little bit and come around. So I'm going to try my best to curve out and around and come up. I've hit right about here where the thumb starts, and I'm going to come up. I'm not going to worry too much about this breakage. I'm going to treat it like it's not broken here. So I'm going to come up and curve around here with this bump and go straight up. So curve around and go at a diagonal line straight up. So now I've got this half of my hand done. From there, the angle that I see it at is I see this next knuckle here, and it swoops down to the thumb. So I've got this knuckle here, and I swoop down to the thumb. I might have swooped a little bit too much. I'm going to actually go through and get this thumb done, so I'm going to curve it a little bit. Ooh, I think I swooped a little too much. That's okay. My thumb has a crease right here that I can see, and then it's going to crease again and again and again. I have this big line right here that's got about one bump, and then it curves down, and then a second bump, and it curves down. So I'm going to try my best, get those two lines, and go one bump up, curve down, one bump up, and now I'm about here where the hand starts to show the lines down here. I'm going to come back up and around to my thumb. I can see a little bit of the knuckle behind this thumb right here, so I'm going to get that piece created right about there. I don't want it to seem too out of place. And then I've got this next knuckle. I'm going to create that piece. Actually, it goes a little bit further out because it goes past the thumb. That knuckle seems to disappear into the crease of the hand, so I might have drawn it a little too long. That's okay. And then it's going to come up. The sizing on this is a little off, but that's okay. I don't see any other lines in this finger, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to now move over to this next finger. So again, I'm still focusing just on the lines that I see. I'm going to come over. This piece goes even further down because it didn't disappear behind the hand. So we're about here with our piece. I can kind of see a little bit of the fingernail, so I'm just going to make the gesture of a fingernail. And now we've got more of a hand feel to it. Now this piece here recedes back a little bit, Notice I still haven't taken my pencil off the paper, and it curves a little bit, and then it comes out and brings back in. So now I've got my whole hand shape. I'm going to create the rest of this pinky, which is a little too high up. There we go. It's going to create these creases that I can see right here, but I actually have that circular piece that comes out. I'm a little off with the sizing, but that's okay. And I can also kind of see the shape of that fingernail. And now I'm done. So this is my hand as I've drawn it here and as it's here. If I wanted to, I could also go back and get the general idea of how like some knuckles would look. The knuckle up here. Let's see here, there'd be a knuckle right here. This is a pretty smooth sculpture, so there aren't any knuckle lines or anything like that, but I definitely would want to draw those in if I was looking at a real hand, or if I was looking at like my hand. I see lots of line down here where the hand kind of breaks out. I don't want to make too much because I don't want it to look crazy, but I do want to add in just a little bit of detail. This thumb does have a little bit of a fingernail here, so I'm just going to create that. There'd be lines here for my knuckle here, and now I've got a little more filled out piece of my hand, so it looks a little more realistic and not as smooth as this one right here. But yeah, that is a contour drawing. Very simple. It can be done with anything. If you needed references, you can always look things up, but we're just going to create one using Notability, and then you're going to, I realize that you can't submit a Notability document onto your Canvas page on discussions, so if you actually just take a screenshot of your drawing and you submit it as a file, that works too. All right. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing your contour drawings.